Hi, Beaux here at Beaux Insurance and Reed Insurance. Today I'm going to talk to you about your homeowner insurance policy and about the things that may be covered underneath the policy, and then also maybe what's really more specifically excluded underneath your policy. Your home is one of the most important investments that you will ever make in your life. This is the place where you and your family live. You want to be safe. You want to make sure that it's covered adequately, right? You remember we have our 4 promises. Number one promise is we want to make sure that your policies are protecting you and your assets. Well, your home is your number one asset that you have. So we want to make sure that we take care of that. Well, we're going to talk about some of the different things that are excluded underneath that. Some things you can fix, some things you can't. But you need to just understand, what are some of those things that are excluded underneath it. So let's dive into that. Well, number one is going to be infestation. So I know that sounds really gross, right? Well, infestation is like rats, rodents, bugs, roaches, things like that. That is typically not included. Another thing is like mold, different things like that, mildew. These are different infestations that you can have that are really more of a maintenance issue. These are things that you should be taking care of either through exterminator or maybe making repairs. If you let things go unrepaired at your house, it may let an opportunity for either rodents or something like that to infest into your house. This is not covered by insurance because they look at it more as a maintenance thing. What can you do? Well, you get an exterminator. You make sure that you keep up your place. Well, what's something else? Well, intentional damage is something that's not going to be covered. If you got little Johnny and he's just really destructive and he goes outside and he beats on the bricks or the siding with a hammer, that's not going to be covered. You're going to need to take care of that yourself. That's going to be something intentional. Let's say that you're just making repairs to the house and you mess up and you cut through your wood floor. That's not going to be covered because that's kind of an intentional thing. What about maintenance? Poor maintenance or wear and tear. Your policy is not a maintenance policy. It's something designed to take care of, unexpected losses. Wear and tear is something that's just expected. I mean, your flooring is expected to wear out. Your roof is expected to wear out. Depending on the type of roof you have, it's anywhere from 15 to 30 years is the life expectancy of the roof. Well, your policy is not designed to replace it because it just wore out. Now, if it gets damaged by storm-related, incidences or something like that, of course it's going to cover that. But wear and tear, maintenance, those things are just not covered. Well, what about flood? That's kind of one of the big things, flood and earthquake. Now in Louisiana, we don't have a lot of earthquakes, but I do have another video about earthquakes, and we actually have a fault line between Louisiana and Mississippi. There's been recorded incidences in the last year in Texas and Arkansas as well. So earthquakes is something that's typically not covered, but you can endorse this a lot of times through your homeowner policy. If you can't endorse it, you can buy a separate policy for that, either through state government or through another insurance company. What about flood insurance? Now, flood is something that's not covered. Now, we're not talking about you have a water pipe burst. We're not talking about that. That's covered underneath your homeowner policy as long as you have the correct policy. Some of those is actually excluded, but under a typical homeowner policy like what we sell, it's going to be included underneath that policy. Now, flood is actually you have rising water, either because a creek overruns, a river overruns, a lake overruns, or you have just excessive amounts of rain, or just other things like that cause flooding to one or more lots or more than a couple of acres of land, and it affects your house. Water actually literally gets into your house and causes damage. Well, that's not covered underneath your homeowner policy, but you can buy a separate flood policy. There's both private and public options. Public meaning like through the federal government, through the NFIP. We sell those policies in both avenues, and there's different options that you can buy for flood insurance. Well, what about another thing is power surge or power outages and surges. That's something that happens that's off your premises. Let's say the power company has some sort of a power surge. That's not typically going to be covered underneath your policy. Now, if your house gets struck by lightning, that's something different. That's all the damage that ensues because of the lightning strike, like blows out your TV, your iPod, your laptop, and all these different things. That's going to be covered underneath it. But what's not going to be covered is your power company has a surge that does damage to your home. Now you can add this by an endorsement. You may talk to your insurance company. Not every insurance company will add this, but that is an option with some carriers. What about nuclear hazard and war? These things are not covered. They are never, ever going to be covered. Just understand that if we have a nuclear hazard, a nuclear meltdown, nuclear war, or just war in general, you probably won't be here to file the claim. So they are not going to cover it. So another thing is governmental action. Now, governmental action, like what could that be? Well, we had during the pandemic, we had some different areas that had some civil unrest, and governments shut down different areas and didn't allow you to be able to get into your business or your home. Well, that's a governmental action. It's for the good of the public that they've taken this action. Well, insurance companies typically don't give you coverage for that. That's just one of those things because the claims would just be so widespread that they just could not. There's no physical way that they could afford that. Now, just rioting, just like if somebody comes in and just loots your business or loot your house, that is covered. But if it's purely by governmental action, that's not going to be covered, and that's not something you can buy. So these are some different things that are excluded by your homeowner policy. I hope this helps you to understand that really, the primary purpose of your homeowner policy is to take care of things that are either not really widespread, that nobody's going to be left or leave us in a zombie apocalypse, and then also it's designed to really cover storm-related things, unfortuitous things that that's a really big word. Just that all that means is just things that we don't expect that could happen because of something that's not our fault, other than just really large, widespread things that are maybe covered by something else. I hope this video helps you out. I know that we got a little technical in that one, but I hope this helps you out. It helps you to understand a little bit better about what your homeowner policy is designed to do. Hey, until next time, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you tell other people about this video. Hit that thumbs up button. That helps others to find these videos. And if you have any questions or you'd like to see me record another video, leave them in the comment section. I will respond to them there. Thanks again. I hope you have a great day.